This is Ronnie and welcome to my channel and welcome to Mixed Media Frenzy. This is the sketch that we will be doing today, and I will be using this picture of my daughter, and I think it was filtered, one of those maybe Snapchat filters, I don't know, but it was in black and white and it was on her Facebook page. I was showing you the sketch there and pointing out that there was a cluster up at the top with lots of layers and then a smaller cluster at the bottom. I'm going to add a third one just because it was hard not to. So I just went with it. I prepped my paper. This paper is Stampin' Up! Paper and it's already textured. And I put the clear gesso on last night so that it'd be dry for today. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off, well, I'm guessing it. There's no measurement on the right hand side of this trimmer. It's a really good trimmer other than the measurements on it. And I can trim slivers off really easy. And so I do like it other than trying to measure. Anyway, I'm going to let a little of this paper here show. This is Eclectic by Allison Craft is what the collection is. And this one has the mint green, plus it has like a brown color. It's not exactly copper and it's certainly not shiny, but it is pretty and it adds something to the layout. So I'm kind of going to make sure it's the one next to the picture, and then I'm going to use it in both little clusters. Plus, I put the frame around the outside. I decided to better work on the picture with that cluster first so I'd know where to go from there. Depends on how big it ends. It was depending how big it was going to end up was what I was going to do next. And it ends up kind of on the big side. Of course, I think my picture, again, is bigger than the one in the sketch. But I trimmed it down quite a bit. There was, what do you call it? Acetate frames or whatever in the sketch. And then there was also some probably chipboard frames. And so I'm going to make sure I have at least one of each of those in there. And I'm going to add some vellum. And everything is going to be inked on the outside edges with tea-dye ink. And if the inside isn't dark enough, even the mint green paper, I'm going to go over it with the antique linen to make it more vintage looking, because I'm going for a shabby chic look on this. For some reason, when I'm doing mixed media, I want to go shabby chic. Well, not every time, but this time I do. They are not, the corners are not rounded in the sketch, but I decided I wanted to round mine. So yeah, I pulled out my corner chomper and I'm doing the 1/4 inch one, and I got glue all over my hands when I was putting that frame on the outside. I don't know how, but I did. And apparently, even though I thought I got it all off, I keep getting it on this picture, because every time I turn around, there's a little tiny place on the picture, and I get it off, and then next thing I know, it's there again in a different spot. I don't even know where I'm getting it from. Or I'd stop. I really would. Here, I decided I needed another piece of paper. So I pulled out this one, and it's got music notes on it, music paper. And see how white that looks? Yeah, that's why everything is getting inked in the antique linen, because it just looks too white. So yeah, the outsides got inked with the tea dye, and then the inside I just go over the top part of it with the antique linen and make it look more vintage, and I like that a lot better. At least today I like it a lot better. And that one I made kind of long because I wanted the music notes to show a little top and a little at the bottom, a little on the side. And here I inked this all the way around, and I went over with the antique linen, but I cut it down because I thought, oh, that's so wasteful putting that whole thing back there when most of it's not going to show. And I cut a piece to use in my bottom right hand corner cluster. And when I cut it in half again because I thought I'll use the other half up there in the top right. Well, I forgot about it. I'm looking at the layout right now, and it is not on there. But the cluster looks all right without it. I'll just have to save it for something else. I had this little bag here. I've had it forever, a long, long time. I don't know what possessed me to pay so much for 5 little bags. And it had little cards in it. They really weren't tags. They were just little cards. And I don't know what happened to them over the years, but I still had one of these bags. But they were at the local stamping store, and everything in there was like sky high. But I seen them, I liked them, I thought I could use them. And I've slowly used all 5. I don't think there are any more left. I think I used the last one finally. Of course, if had not started making them on my own, I might have used it by now, but I've made plenty on my own over the years that was more matched to whatever I was working on. And this one just went great with the brown that was in this paper. So yeah, I'm using it on this page. And I also had pulled out my pad of paper that was craft paper, thinking I'd put a craft tag in there, but it didn't go. That color just did not go with this. This stencil that I'm going to use, I've had it for 2 or 3 years. It's been a little while. And I don't use it too often. 1, because it seems to try to tear up every time I use it. And 2, it's about art and mixed media, and it don't seem to go with anything that I'm doing. But this layout had gray writing underneath the picture and in the upper right hand corner. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and use it. I'll try to cover part of it so you really can't tell what it's saying. And this modeling paste, I went ahead and added some ink, and it's called Slate, so it's a light gray. I mean, it looks dark in the bottle, but once you add it to that, it don't. And you will see me go ahead and put this in a 3rd spot because I wanted it there. That's how the top part looks on the layout. It just has that writing up there, but I wanted to add more, so yeah, I will add an actual cluster up there. And I don't think there was any writing down in the bottom right on the sketch. I don't think so. I think it just had the cluster down there. But see, I'm going to cover part of the writing up with my layers and layers, my layers of paper. And I do like layering, and I think that looks good. So I didn't mind doing it. I just had to pick out what I wanted to do it with. And believe me, I was looking through all my stuff trying to decide what I wanted to use. And you don't know how long it took me to find the picture I wanted to use. So the getting ready for the layout took a while. Oh, and right now I want to apologize for how long my video is. Yeah, I did a lot to this page. I mean, it may not look it when it gets done, but I did do a lot, like inking around everything. You know, that stuff takes a while. And I did cut out as much as I could without looking like I'm just cutting everything out. But yeah, I cut out a lot of inking on here and a few other things too. But yeah, it was just very long process doing this one. I loved every minute of it, but it was a long process. So yeah, I cut stuff out, but it's still very long video. I used my, I think it's Paper Studio, maybe, punch to do the tags with. I can't remember. I know I got Hobby Lobby and used a coupon to get it. But I like it because of the way it makes the tags. I do have dies that make tags like this, but it's really quick to use that punch instead of pulling the dies and the die cutting machine out. And this twine, I have no idea where I got it, but it's pretty heavy for, twine. And I'm inking all of it because, it's got to match everything else. And that one tag, I didn't ink all the way down because I knew that it was going to be hidden, and I'm going to end up cutting it off. And I didn't ink it all the way down. Oh, I already cut it off. Yeah, I hope y'all are paying more attention than I am. That one snuck up on me. But yeah, one tag, the full tag is going to go right in there, and I'm making this for my daughter's scrapbook, and so I'm going to let her do journaling on it. So yeah, I got one tag that she can do journaling on and one not. And I don't know how I did this. I thought I pulled one color of each. There's 3 different colors in here out for each cluster, but see on that middle one, I've got 2 the same. I don't know. I must not have been paying enough attention, so I will have to trade one out. And I don't know what brand these are. When I pulled it out, I don't know if you could see it said Diamond Dies, so I'm kind of thinking that's what they are, because surely I didn't put that back there behind it and it not be, because I thought, well, if I put any more on magnetic stuff, I'm going to try to put the packaging there so I'll know what it is. So I'm thinking it's Diamond Dies, and it come in a set of 3. I'm pretty sure it's 3. And I'm inking this with that antique linen, just so that it goes with everything else in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and die coat, and then I'm going to ink the little leaves. Yeah, that took a while. I inked them in the tea dye on the edges. And somehow when I put these on here, I got one dye on top of the other dye. So one of the leaves is going to have a chunk out of it and look a little wonky. So I'm going to take my scissors and fix it. But I might have cut that out. I don't know. It might not be on this. But I know I did cut some out. But yeah, I inked all these little leaves, and it took just a little bit of doing. But I think they look good in the end, so it was worth the effort. Like I said, I enjoyed myself doing this, and time just flew by. I was surprised at how long the video was when I got done with it. I'm going to start gluing these down and arranging them and putting the flowers with them. And these flowers I got for my birthday, and my great-nephew Parker picked them out. And the rule is for me to take a picture of the layout I use them on so the kids can see what I did use them for. So, yeah, this is the first time using them, so I'll have to take a picture of this and send it to my sister so she can let him see. But, yeah, they were perfect for this layout. They went great with the brown that was in that mint-colored paper. So I felt lucky. And the thing was, when I was hunting the paper, I had pulled out some flowers that were kind of a turquoise more, and that were just like these. These are recollections, I think. I'm not sure. No. They were spare parts. But they look like the teal ones that are recollections. Anyway, I went looking for it, and this stuff didn't match when I got back over to my desk with them, but I wanted to use them, so they went to the side, and I thought, I'll just make my own. And then I remembered these. Oh, I'm so glad. They're perfect, and I didn't have to do anything. Although I do have a punch almost exactly like this, and it works very well. I may not have thought of making the little flowers brown if I'd been doing it, but they look really good with the layout. This punch here is like a mini Rolodex card, and I'm going to use it 2 places on the layout. I'm going to use it in each one of the little clusters on the right-hand side. And yeah, I love this punch, but it is tiny. And of course, it has to get inked up too. That's what took the layout so long. I had to just ink everything. But like I said, I had fun doing it. And I made a little banner here. It has one in the cluster, but it looks like they may have torn it, and one side looks like it does have the fishtail, but then it's covered up by something. So I decided, okay, I'll add a banner, but I'm going to add it my way. And I don't have it torn at one end. And I am adding that Tim Holtz film strip to it. And of course I had to use the tiny attacher with it too. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different than what's in the sketch. I did have an awful lot of what was in the sketch, but I'm going to use the things that I've got instead that was just begging to go on the page. I went to glue the banner down and it hit me. I have not used my gelatos yet. So I pulled them out, and the gelato that I'm using is called Caramel. And so it's a light brown. It goes with everything else I'm doing perfectly. And so I'm going to kind of do it around these up here that I've already put down. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot to do this, but I did. And I'm going to have to end up doing the whole thing. But I'm not going to do it all right now. First, I thought I would just do this kind of blush through the clusters. But then I looked at the layout again and seen where it had like streaks in there, and the streaks kind of go in the opposite direction of what I'm doing with these. So I'm going to have to kind of camouflage that by putting a few streaks in them later. But yeah, it looks good the way it is, but I decided to go ahead and go with the sketch and put the streaks in there too. You all probably at home hollering, where's your gelatos? Why aren't you using your gelatos? And I wouldn't hear them. Here's these leaves. They're like they grow out from the ground. So since the other ones, they would look kind of like they come from any direction, maybe. I would like to have some vines. I do have a stencil that's like a vine, and I pulled it out and I thought about using it, but I didn't end up using it. Mainly because the leaves were so much bigger than these leaves, and I knew I was going to be using these leaves. And I'm working on this cluster because, of course, it has to have a banner, and I'm going to put one of those little Rolodex things on there, plus a little bit of the film strip. And at the moment, you don't see that vellum down there, so I don't know why I didn't go ahead and put the vellum up there at the same time when I was doing the other one, but I didn't, and it's not going to make it on there. I am cutting this longer, and it was hard. I thought, oh, do I want to make it this long? Do I want to use this much on one page? But yeah, hopefully if I hear it on YouTube, that's where I usually hear anything, that's going to be discontinued or they're going to quit making it, then I'll just go get me some more, because it is a favorite of mine. And I did order some film strip one time that's bigger than this, and I have used it, but I like this little tiny, pretty good. And here's that vellum, and I debated whether to use that part with the pink, because there's no other pink on here, and then I said, I like it. I'm going to go ahead and use it, so I did. So if y'all notice pink in one place and one place only, it's because I liked it. Yeah, it went on there anyway. And I could have easily cut a part off that didn't have the pink. But yeah, I kind of like pink. I am tucking. My plan was to put since they look like they're coming out of the ground, was to put these in front of the cluster. But then when I got ready to put them on, I thought, no, I don't think I'm going to like that. And I really want my cluster to show better than that. So yeah, they're going in the back behind the cluster instead. And you see me cut that one part off. I'm still going to use it, but I'm going to put it to the left so that it sticks out farther that way. It looked kind of crowded the way it was going to be there to start with. And so I wanted to let it just go a little wild and over to the left. And I think the flowers is the only thing I've got left to put on there. Oh yeah, I had to pull one more of the lighter color out to go in here. And yeah, they're just so cute. And they have the little tiny pearl in the middle. Yeah, I really like them. The teal colored ones that I was talking about earlier, I think I bought that package 3 times when I'd be out of town at a Michael's, because it comes in so handy with, especially when I use this greenery, because they match so good. They're just about the right size using it. Not that I use this greenery that much, but I do use it every now and then. And this little cluster is also going to get 3 flowers. And I'm actually going to put 4 over by the picture. I'm going to put 3 on the right hand side. And then that one that I accidentally had earlier that wasn't the right color, I don't put it back into the container or the packaging. I went ahead and put it on my layout, and I just put it on the other side. And so I'm getting close to getting done finally. But yeah, it's been a little while. Oh, here I decided I needed just a little more greenery there, so I had to stop the camera and cut a little bit more. And that's when I decided to cut enough to put over to the left-hand side of the picture. I don't put much over there, but I am going to put a little bit. Yeah, it's like one branch, and Then, of course, that flower that's laying over there to the left-hand side, that I guess it was good fortune that I put the wrong color out and had one more, because I'd have to go digging for it otherwise. Um, but yeah, I think the only thing I've got left to do is go ahead and add that caramel gelato to the page and do the streaks. And I started out doing it just here and there, but I ended up doing it pretty much over the whole thing. I thought it looked better that way. So yeah, I just figured the whole thing would have the same effect. And my title. I can't forget my title. Oh, I almost forgot this. It had a photo turn in the sketch, and I thought, I've got photo turns. I've got some of those containers that they put fishing lures in with the little tiny drawers, and I got all kinds of little things in there. And rather than go hunting for them, if I decide I need one of them, I've got them in the little drawer, and so on the outside it says photo turns. So yeah, they were pretty easy to find, and even though it's probably been, oh gosh, 8, 9 years, maybe 10 even since I used them, but they were right where I left them. But yeah, see how I did the streaks? I did cut most of that out because that took a while. And now I'm using the brush and putting the tea dye along the outside edge. Since everything else has it, I thought I might as well do it with it. But there's my Maggie Holmes Gather letters. And I want to make my title, and I'm going to put it right the same place the sketch has it, right below the picture. That's why I made that piece of paper a little bit longer. I think in the sketch it might be a Polaroid frame there. It kind of looks like it might be, but I just put the paper there instead of making a frame. And I think all that's left to do is to use my Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold, of course. And somehow or another, it looks like my picture is covered up really well, but somehow or another, I get speckles of gold on the bottom part of it. I don't know how, but I do. And yeah, I don't mind a little on the picture. I don't mind it, so yeah, it's all right. I don't want it on their face is all I really care about. But yeah, I thought it was covered up good this time, though. But that's it. That's my layout. And check out the other gals and see what they created with the same sketch. It is amazing every week, the difference. And yeah, I know I did a few things off on this one, so I know they may have one up in the upper right hand corner, but then again, maybe they won't. And oh, there's my right hand corner one. And yeah, see how it's up there and it's got the writing. And then this is the one with the tags underneath the picture and the flowers there. Yeah, it's a lot of dimension to this layout. Oh, and I must have wanted you to see this twice because there it is again. Maybe I don't have the bottom one. Nope, there's the bottom one. Yeah, I just wanted you to see that one twice. And here's the bottom one, and it's got the vellum with the tiny bit of pink on there. And there's the completed layout. But if you leave a comment below, I'll be sure to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. But check out the other gals, see what they created with the same sketch. And if you do it, tag me on it so I can see what you create with the same sketch. But thanks for watching and have a happy scrappy week. Bye.